defensively, we had a lot of breakdowns defensively. We just weren't good. They, especially in both halves, they shot a high percentage.
Did you call those defensive hustle issues? Did you call them effort issues?
Yeah, you know what? Like some of it, like with Zurich, for example, twice, he just broke down and didn't trail a guy. And, he had a poor game, and when he gets off a little bit in terms of his composure, which I thought happened to him last night early, that affected his whole game. We need him to be a great defensive player to start. Not worry about the other end, let the other end come to you. I think sometimes when players are worried about their offense not going well, they miss some shots or whatever, it affects the other end of the floor, and it should.
Any regrets not going with the small lineup at all?
We did go with a small lineup at times. Yeah, we did go small in both halves, actually. So, yeah, we did do that some.
You used Tyler Lamb a lot.
Pardon me?
You used Tyler Lamb a lot. Was that for defensive purposes?
We played 9 minutes.
Well, in the second half, it seemed like he was out there.
He didn't play that much first half. Second half, we were playing a little smaller at times, and I thought he came in and gave us some good hustle. But when he came in the first time in the second half, it was already a double-digit lead for the other team. And that, the 4-point play where we get the technical was, a bad play. And you could see that some of our players were affected by the crowd. People are yelling, inappropriate things to kids that actually hear them and respond to them. And so we talked about the game. You can't let someone yelling and screaming at you or trying to all they're trying to do is to get you to react to it. So it actually sure to evaluate what someone in the crowd tries to do. And that happened to more than one of our players, which is really unfortunate. At this point in the season, you think you'd be over that by now, because it happens when you go wherever you go. But that wasn't good.
Seemed like that atmosphere is so domineering. Is that something that Pauly kind of lacks, do you think, or?
Well, their crowd was very good last night.
Yeah.
They were very loud, but they were also, saying some personal things directed at certain kids. You would think would be inappropriate in some circles. But you just can't. I don't hear anything. I really don't. But I've been doing this a lot longer than these kids. It's like at the end of the game, I got a lot of phone calls. Reeves was fouling out. They're going left, right. So it's a little kid's thing. And he's reacting to that and sitting up, sitting down. And it's like, come on, we're losing. Just sit down and don't react to the crowd. You shouldn't be interacting with the other team's crowd. That's really immature.
Did you talk to him about that? Did you talk to him about that?
Yeah, I said I talked to the whole team about it. Because that wasn't just him. It was, in fact, it was the only instance with him. It was foul out.
What happened with Josh in the USC game during those fans? Were you surprised that they were still kind of, it was getting to him still? He reacted to something that was said about his mom at that game. And they reflected the message after that? Or?
Yeah, I am surprised. And he's a bright kid. He's a smart kid. It's like, and it's going to continue to happen the rest of your career. So, deal with it now and realize it's no big deal. Just move on.
That's another way,
I guess I could tell him that.
Does this team take losing too casually? Do they seem to be bothered by losing? Things like the Reeves thing, just talking about...
I always think that's a defense mechanism, they, the crowd is on them. I think it's just not, getting. I don't think they really enjoy losing, but that's it.
The stuff with Zeke last night, part of it was, he's playing Perry and wanted to, get up hand.
Well, he wants to play well. It's on ESPN. It's a national telecast game. everybody back home watching. I'm sure all of that plays into it.
You talked to him at all day about, you know.
Talked to him yesterday.
Yeah. Sharing there.
Just, I talked about, he was good. I mean, I talked to him specifically about, his reaction to the kid with an elbow. And it was just, in other words, it was kind of like a thing for him. It piled on. He had just missed a shot at the other end where he tried to do an up and under instead of just going up left-handed, and he should have just gone up. And, so he was, it was kind of like a compounding thing. And, you can't, it was the right call.
It's pretty rare to see he's pretty unflappable most of the time, it seems like. I mean, that was pretty rare.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but sometimes he lets, the officiating with the calls that he thought he should have got, or the fouls that they were called on him, it's way too much. He's got to learn to handle that better. And I told him last night, you asked what I mean, hey, there's a lot of responsibility to keep on your shoulders. You're a first-year Division I player playing here at a high level, and I'm asking you to, be a leader and be mature out there. And, I understand it's a big responsibility. We need him to do that.
When did you name him a captain? Right off the bat, or?
No, it was right before our first game against Northwich.
Was that just, like you said?
I think he deserved it. At that time, he had shown through his work ethic the whole summer. He was great in terms of, never misses class, does everything he's supposed to do, on and off the floor. Basketball's really important to him. He's a very hard worker. He's a very good competitor. And he's definitely, a leader. And starting point guard, what could be one of your leaders.
Coach, earlier in the season, we kind of talked about Malcolm Lee maybe putting too much emphasis on defense and affecting his offense. Does Reeves do the opposite sometimes? Is he burning himself out on offense? Is that causing him to react poorly on defense?
I don't think that's the case. He's just got to be a better defender. Last night he missed, numerous opportunities to slide over when we're getting beat on drives, and he's just getting stand there caught. Reeves is, in other words, he's always been the center. He played 5 for us almost predominantly last year, and now he's being asked to play 4. It's different. It's all new for him. But yeah, he's got to be better defensively for us. And he's probably the guy that breaks down the most defensively out of the starting 5, or he's right there. Honeycutt's got to be better. Honeycutt got driven a couple times last night. And part of that was, I think, fatigue. I played him too many minutes. He played 19 minutes in the first half, and I think probably 19 in the second. If that's too many, I'm asking him to do too much.
It seems like every game you're saying, I played this guy too much. Is that part of the inevitable with what you've got to work with?
Yeah, like with Honeycutt, he's our best or second best rebounder, one or the other. And last night we had a bad matchup at the 3 from the standpoint that. And I thought actually Lamb, when he did play a matchup at the 3, did a good job. But right away, I don't know if you remember, they went and tried to post him twice in a row as soon as he came in as a 3, because it was a definite size disadvantage. He's going up either against Hill or Parham, and both those guys were just bigger. But he did a pretty good job.
Coach, moving on to Arizona State, Kucic was averaging like 8 points.
Though he played great last night. He went 5 for 8 from 3, and I guess he had some injuries. I'm not clear as to exactly what was going on with him earlier, but yeah, he played last night exactly how I remember in past years, and he's a real matchup nightmare. Abbott's playing really well. Their record's not indicative of how close some of these games have been. They went down to the wire with Cal. It's a 2-point game with a minute to go. Last night they could have won that game. They played Washington. Washington very, very good. This is obviously a huge game for both teams, and we've got to do a good job, number one, defensively. And Kukoc is a difficult matchup for us. If you look at our starting lineup last night, starting the game, that would put Reed